is up, everyone? It's your boy Norn Radd89 here, bringing you another video. And of course, you know what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D. We are on to it right now. And I know I've been off of YouTube for the last few days, but I was sick over the past couple days. Basically, anything like that I ate, just couldn't keep it down. My stomach feels like it was worked over by Mike Tyson. It's pretty intense. So I took a little bit of time off to recuperate and all that stuff. But now we're back to our Friday the 13th review series, talking about one of my all-time favorites, Part 3. I think this is probably one of the most underrated Friday the 13th films. It has one of my favorite casts. And of course, we're going to be talking spoilers today. So if you haven't seen this film, go run out and watch it, and then come back so we can talk about it. So Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D is a very iconic one for me. First of all, the score in the beginning, the intro song by Harry Manfredini, that cool, like, kind of disco-y type, like, enhanced synth, or 80s one. Oh my god, it's just, like, epic. Like, I'm fumbling my words talking about it because it's just epic. It's, like, probably one of my favorite intro title card sequences to a Friday the 13th film. Also, Richard Broker, one of my all-time favorite Jasons, and this is actually the introduction of the hockey mask. So this is a big film. It's just a big monumental film, but a lot of people don't really talk about this film that much, or it gets overlooked in terms of the Friday films. And I think this film is really badass. It has a good cast all across the board. They're all fun and have a good time to spend with, like Chris Higgins, Andy, Shelley. I think all of them are great in their own way. Even the crazy biker gang that Shelley and them end up getting into with, like, oh, that part's amazing too. So it's got all these cool characters in this one, and it's fun. I would say the only problem with this one maybe that people have is like that it has a lot of daytime sequences. It's not a lot of nighttime stuff, but that may be why it's not as like scary or as like thought about as much as some of the other ones. But I think even the daytime shots are effective. And like I said, with this one, it has my favorite cast, and that's probably like my favorite cast clearly I think is this film. It's not my favorite Friday film, but I think my favorite cast is this film just because they're so cool. Like all of them. Like Andy is one of my favorites. I really like him too, and him and his girlfriend, and he's like doing the yo-yo trick. And like I know a lot of the 3D stuff, like a lot of people kind of be like, oh well, the shots, they have to do certain shots to, like, you know, appease the three-dimensional thing. But I think that adds to this film and makes it unique in a different way for sure, especially when you're seeing the cinematography and the camera work. It definitely does feel like it's its own thing. Another great positive, as I said, Richard Broker's Jason, easily one of my favorites. He was the first one that really made Jason, gave him a certain walk, gave him that certain kind of ghostly mystique, the way he stalked, the way he moved. It wasn't very aggressive. He wasn't very violent, but the way he moved was almost like a spiritual figure going in and out of places. And like I like the way he has like kind of that green, just the plain shirt, you know what I mean, that he gets off like the lawn out there from at the beginning, at the clothesline. And then like once he gets the hockey mask, plus he has kind of like this weird, like the way the build is, and he kind of hunches over a little bit. I think that's actually pretty cool. I'm really a big fan of the performance of Jason in this film. The kills are also top notch for sure. Adding in that three-dimensional factor, the kills are badass. And actually my favorite Jason kill in any film is in this movie, and it's Andy's death when he's doing the handstand cut down death right down. Oh, that's such a brutal scene for sure. And then even when you see Andy's body, like when she finds the body and you see it, like it looks good. Like the special effects and the kills in this one are at its peak. We have the Harpoon Kill too. Like, oh man, there's just a lot of good top-notch kills, and I think this is the one that really propelled the Friday franchise into really nailing the formula. Because Friday 1, we had Pamela Voorhees, and that was a whodunit story. That was something completely different. Friday the 13th Part 2, we kind of had Jason coming back for revenge, and then kind of like just running into some new campers. That was kind of Part 2. Part 3 was the one that was like, all right, this is the one that really laid the foundation for how the rest of the Friday films were going to be tackled from here on in. And as I said, another great thing about this film is the characters. There's fun side characters to have fun with. Like when Jason's playing around with the biker gang and killing them all one by one. It's like it really added a new element to this film, and I like that factor. It harkens back to, or not harkens back, but you'll see Friday Part 4 kind of do a similar thing when we have two different houses, you know what I mean? We have Tommy Jarvis, his family's house, then we have the kids that are staying there at the camp. So it's like it does does good when you have two little separate stories and two different characters, side characters, like groups that you could kind of follow along with and like not get bored with. And this is just an easy watch. Like Friday the 13th Part 3 is an easy watch for sure. Even our stoner characters in this film and like the hot poker kill, like there's just so much to love about this film. And really, if you haven't seen this film in a long time or this is lower on your list, I urge you to rewatch this film because this one has a lot to love about it. And as far as negatives go, there really isn't a lot of negatives for me. Like, as I said, and maybe negative, it's a nitpicky thing. And it's just that there's a lot of daytime sequences. A lot of this movie takes place during the day. But that's really not, that's it. Like, there's nothing really else to hate about this movie. Like, I really love this freaking movie. The score, Chris Higgins is one of the best final girls in this franchise easily. And it's cool that she has a past with Jason and has met him before, so I like that factor in it. Plus, Jason actually kills Andy's girlfriend in this film, and she's pregnant. So Jason actually killed an unborn child in this film. So that's kind of wild. Like when you think about this film, it really has a lot in it. And I think Friday the 13th Part 3 is literally not unheralded or talked about as much because it should be. This is my second favorite in the franchise. I'll let you know right now. This is my number 2. But it could be 1 at some days. It could be number 1, just depending on like how I feel, because I really do love this film. And it sucks because I see a lot of people and they don't really think about this one that much or talk about it as much. But that's why it's like it's fun to do these review series and go back these old school franchises and talk about these films because that nostalgia hits hard and it's cool to see and look back at these films, especially when you're at a different age. The way you view films blah, 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 changes. So like I said, I urge everybody out there to go revisit this film because it's a badass film. In my book, Friday the 13th Part 3 is going to get, it's my number 2. So if it was it's gonna get a 9 out of 10. This film's gonna get a 9 out of 10. Like I freaking adore this movie for sure. Like I really do. It's that badass, a slam dunk entry into the Friday the 13th franchise. And let me know in the comments section, all you horror fanatics out there, what do you think of this film and all that kind of stuff? Is this lower on your Friday ranking, or is this like in the upper echelon or in the middle? You kind of forget about this one. I would love to hear from all of you, and don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned to the channel because over the next few days I'm going to be posting my reviews for the other films, and I also got a special box from Arrow Video that I just received, so we're probably going to go over that too. Thanks for sticking around with me, y'all. Peace out.